HANMEDITATIONS.
Am I good to go? Yes. Oh man, I got a lot to say, so y'all buckle up. I started to realize something. Man, we play this game on Sundays, and it's really the Lord's day. And when the day we should be worshiping the Lord, a lot of times players are getting worshiped, and we get to go on this ball field. So since so many of us didn't get to go to church today, I have a word that I want to share. I know this is a little untraditional, so like I said, buckle up. Revelations 3:20 says, "See, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and dine with him and eat with him and he with me." I want to tell y'all about a knock that I heard this week. A lot of people don't know this, but on Friday, my daughter, she's 4 years old, she had her third epilepsy seizure attack. It's my same daughter who survived retinoblastoma. She's been totally cleared of that, but she had her third seizure, and it's been almost 2 years. She was about a month away. If she would have had no seizures for one more month, then she would have been off the medicine, but now we have to start that clock all the way over. It was on Friday, and a bunch of kids were over at the house, and she was playing, and I noticed something was off. And I told her mom I thought she was having a seizure. Her mom is pretty good. She saw it, my wife, and we took her in her room, didn't want to cause a scene. And she started to foam at the mouth, and it was her worst seizure. For 30 minutes, she seized. She wouldn't come, and we had to call the paramedics. They came, and so over the course of time, it ended up being a total of 30 minutes. They got her in. My wife got in the paramedics with her. I got behind them driving. You can imagine all the thoughts that's racing through your mind. The last sight you see of your daughter is she's totally out of it. Got to the hospital, and my wife told me that my daughter stopped breathing in the car twice. So I'm, of course, praying. We get to the hospital. They give her a bunch of medicine. They seizure her stop. She's laying there. And at this point, if she seized for 30 minutes, you start to fear there could be development issues that could mess with her brain. She stopped breathing. If there was no oxygen going to her brain, you're starting to think about her speech be slurred or anything, or worse. So we prayed, and she had medicine, and my wife and I had to stay overnight at the hospital. And in the middle of the night, probably about 3 o'clock, I heard a knock. And the knock was my daughter. I prayed for her. I said, God, let this just be an attack from the enemy that's just trying to be a distraction, and let him have overplayed his hand, and my daughter come back stronger than before. When I heard my daughter talk in the middle of the night, and my daughter, she doesn't have any development issues, praise God. She doesn't have any slurred speech, prior to this. She woke up talking clearer than she was talking before. Now, anyone who deals with epilepsy knows that it takes a few days for them to come back. They usually can get back to normal wherever they were. But it takes a couple of days. They're groggy. It's a lot because what their body is like, it's like the TV just staticking in their brain. She was talking clearer than before. And it was 3 o'clock, and we heard her talk, and we let her talk for about 20 minutes and said, "Hey, baby, it's nighttime. Let's go back to sleep." And I just prayed. I started saying, "Praise God, praise God." The next morning, when she got up, my daughter was so sharp. She was able to talk to me and her mom. I mean, clear conversation. She's sharp for a 4-year-old. No stuttering. All her words clear. And my daughter, like I said, my daughter is already sharp. She was sharper than before. And if any of you were able to have a conversation with my daughter, you wouldn't know anything had ever happened. So we had a birthday party for my 7-year-old daughter that day. She got to be released from the hospital, and she came back home, and it was as if nothing was happening. She was playing with the kids the day before, and she had the worst seizure that she had ever had. And the next day, she's back out there playing with the kids. Now, of course, we can't let her get overstimulated. We have to keep bringing her in. Have to keep cooling her down. Can't let her do too much just because of protocol. But when I tell you, I got a chance to hear a knock from God. And what I want to share is we get to play this game, and it's great. And there's so many amazing things that happen in that game. And everybody wants to hear about them. But when we leave this game, we go back to being regular people. And regular people are living life. And people are waiting for a knock. And the word says who Jesus is, he's knocking at the door. All you got to do is get up. And so on the way, man, I'm nervous, but I'm praying, and I'm trusting, and I'm believing. And I'm asking for my daughter to make it through. I'm asking that she's better than before. And God gave me just what I asked for plus some. I was blown away. And at that point, I knew, well, the game is going to take care of itself. My knock had already been answered. And I just want people to know, like, if you got stuff going on in your life, lay it before the Lord. Lay it before the Lord and trust. And be expecting of a knock. Because the word says what you have to do is you have to get up and open the door. He's not going to open the door for you. He's going to knock. But you have to be listening and waiting for the knock. And when you see it, you have to get up and open the door. And your blessing is going to be there. Now, I'm going to be here to talk about football next week. I wish y'all well. Happy Sunday and praise God. Thank y'all.
So that whole story was so moving because, number one, the world needs God right now. Number two, it just makes you feel so grateful and so gracious that if you don't have these kind of issues or problems, you have no idea how grateful you are. And you should be praising God every day and just being in full gratitude to yourself, because I was in a position like that too, where I was in the hospital. They thought I was going to die or something. I had a mini stroke, different crazy stuff happened to me, organ failure, just wild stuff was happening. And, my wife was there the whole time and I was being positive the whole time. And it's a powerful feeling when you put your faith in God. And I like how he said he didn't just want his daughter to be okay. He wanted her to be better than she was before. And that's how I feel too. It's like I'm better than I was before in many different ways because I'm stronger, I'm healthier. I feel better in every single way because something like that happened. So God's going to put you in positions sometimes to which you have to face certain adversities in which you can get better. If you're saying you're healthy, you're teaching people how to heal like I was, God's going to put you in a position to say, okay, do you believe what you say? Do you believe me? Do you trust me? Are you ready to go on this journey together? And if you put your faith in God like that, you put your faith in yourself and your belief, then your life is going to transform in a beautiful way. And just hearing him say that is very beautiful because I worked in the NFL for many years. I know a lot of NFL players. And to hear him speak like that, a lot of these people, they're just normal people, man. People look at them like they're just these crazy, athletes, these super famous guys. They're normal people. And they deserve respect and they deserve love like everybody else, and they deserve privacy. And a lot of people just look at them, they're calling them trash, this and that. And that's all good and dandy inside the game, but outside the game, they're normal people. So show them that respect and respect to him for putting his faith in God and talking about God on a Sunday like that.
Yeah, that story was very, very moving. I could feel the tears just building up in my eyes. And of course, it does remind me of things that we've gone through, but it's so true that if you have good health, your family's in good health, you have no idea how blessed you are. And that's something that we should not take for granted, but we very easily do take for granted. And we really need to feel grateful for that, because it's just something that if you have that, it's such a blessing. It really, really is to have perfect health. If you have that, it doesn't matter money, any of these other things that we think are so important. That is truly the most important thing you can have, to be blessed. And that was very moving. And I love how that he shared that story and was, brave to do that. And if I was one of those reporters, I would be like, I wouldn't even want to ask my little questions about the games. I'd be like, I'm going to ask some questions about the game now. It seems, it's my job.
No, he left after that. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was like, I'll be back next week to talk about the game,
Okay. I was like, I wouldn't even feel right to ask some questions about the game now. But it is crazy how we just get so wrapped up in these things. And it's true that you never, ever, ever know what someone has going on with their personal life. And I know when it comes to sports, people can get so worked up about it and personally angry at this player and that player and, say awful stuff as if these people aren't human outside of this game. They're just these players. And yeah, you just never know what someone's going through. So the golden rule, of course, treat people how you would like to be treated, because you really just never know. And someone being extra kind to him that next day, that could have made a big difference to him. And everyone deserves to be treated with respect and with good, because you just never know.
Yeah. You never know if someone's on the verge of a breakdown. You never know if someone needs you to be there. So it's so important, people. You have to get close with God. Put your faith in God. Put your faith in whatever you believe, because I believe that God is all there is. So I believe we're all a part of God. God is within all of us. Therefore, there can only be perfection where God resides, and God resides within me. God resides within you. So if you don't know it, then you need to know it. And it's just a beautiful thing whenever you have that connection and that faith, and you truly are in a position to be believing it and acting as if you believe it. I know plenty of people that say they believe in God, but they don't act like it. They don't act like it, you know? So it's just beautiful to be a part of this journey and hear what he had to say. So I appreciate it. If you guys like this video, if you want to see more content like this, just please like the video, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.